I'm convinced we are the country's leading specialist in vehicle key programming. We've been in it since day one with a company called Advanced Diagnostics, and as I say, we were there at the start, and certainly we have the most people that have the technical aspects and knowledge on the key programming. There's currently, we reckon, about 1,500 key programmers in the UK market, so it's still quite a small niche area, and that are various places, either in locksmiths or in the motor trade, so in garages, and some owned fleets and things like that. So dashboards might have their own units and those type of things. We have a transponder inside the key. We have the key. We then have the aerial, the immobilizer, and the ECU. Transponder sends its signal to the aerial. The aerial just sends that signal on. It doesn't read it, doesn't do anything with it. It just says, I've received it, and passes it on to the immobilizer. The immobilizer says, is that the right code? Yes, it is the right code. It tells the ECU, yes, you can start the car. If the immobilizer receives the wrong code, then it doesn't send a signal to the ECU, well, the car doesn't start. Now, as vehicle manufacturers always do, they don't all use the same ECU or the same immobilizer box or the same aerial. They mix and match it all up. So sometimes you have the immobilizer built into the ECU. Sometimes you have the immobilizer built into the aerial. So this is a voxel, and the aerial and the immobilizer is all in one piece. So you could have just that, a key, an aerial with an immobilizer, and then an ECU. But you've got all of those components to make a car start. So first of all, key programming. This is the AD100 Pro, and this is the advanced diagnostics product that most auto locksmiths and garages will have. They'll either have this unit, the AD100 Pro, or another very similar unit, the MVP Pro. One of the products that you can use for key cloning is this little unit called the Z ball. It's this shape because the manufacturer likes to call it a bull. It represents a bull. It can be as basic as just copying a key, or we can make it do lots of other things. And some of the things that it will do, it will recognize and read the transponders, so we can read the information within the transponders. We can do the cloning, so we can the straightforward copying over. We can do something called transponder production. We can do some key programming. So very much like this machine, we can do some limited amounts of key programming. I can plug a lead into the back of the Z-ball with a diagnostic socket connector, plug the Z-ball into the vehicle, and I can program some keys as well as clone. That's only any good if you tend to do a single brand. So if you're only interested, say, in doing Fords, and you didn't want to program any other vehicle, then you could have a Z-ball and just a Ford lead, and then you wouldn't need to use any tokens, and you could do everything in one unit. If you're looking to cover the whole market, then the key programmer is a better option. We can also read the security pin code, so that if we've got a particular vehicle that the pin code is difficult to get and you want to program in a remote key, we can read the pin code out with the EEPROM programming. We also have a training school. So within our operation in Taunton, we have a training school where we can train you in anything auto locksmith. We do a 5-day course. We now do an 8-day course, and we do a 10-day course. If you want, if you're coming into this market from nowhere and you want to learn everything, and also what equipment you're going to need, because there's a huge array of equipment, and you can very easily buy badly with the wrong equipment. Just coming to the end now of the presentation, and what I wanted to do was to give you some idea of pricing, some idea of how long it's going to take you to get your money back. So some payback scenarios. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, no tricks here. This is not a special offer price that you've got to take tonight. This is our full list prices. Yeah, so this is just, you know, as it is. So we've got the MVP Pro, which is the key programmer, the token-based key programmer. It comes with 10 tokens and it's $18.95. If we add an additional 20 tokens, it's £150. Total outlay £2,045. Broadly, you will get a programming charge of around about £60 to take your tester out of its bag and plug it into a vehicle and program a key for somebody. £60. That's about the price. Could be 40, could be 50, could be 80, but you know, broadly about £60. So if we divide your total outlay by £60, 34 vehicles, you're going to have your money back. If you're doing one vehicle a week, then that's going to take you 8 months, 34 vehicles or 8 months to pay for your equipment, and then you're obviously you're then into profit. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to lease that tester over a 5-year period. So instead of paying out the cash out of your bank, put it on a lease and pay for it at £11 per week. So if you can program one vehicle per week, that will get you £60. You pay £11 for your lease of your machine. So therefore, broadly, your profit is going to be £50. So one key a week, £50 a week. 2 keys, obviously you haven't got to pay your lease the second time, so 2 keys is going to be £110, and so on and so on. You've also got the profit on your keys, your remotes, and so on. If you're a domestic locksmith and you add key programming to it, vehicle key programming to it, it is a brand new revenue stream. You can say this is an extension to the business, whereas if you just buy another key cutting machine, it doesn't actually improve the business. It just means that, you know, you're doing them quicker or better quality or so on. So it is a true extension to your business.